Another person that I never got to meet in Brazil that blessed my life was a widow that lived in Vila Tebas, which is right across the river from Tarumã and Bairro Alto, where I was serving. Her bishop shared an experience with a couple of us elders at a zone conference as we were working on some dishes after the luncheon. He said that he had gone to visit this old widow, and she lived in the river bottoms, which means she lives in a shack thrown together with scrap wood and scrap metal. And she had very little to her, as far as possessions are concerned, very little to her name. She had a little mattress on the floor, and it's a dirt floor. She had 2 sawhorses and 3 strips of wood for a table. She had a propane tank and a screw on top for her stove, a little basin for her sink that she would have to go and get water out of a well, and a little stump for her chair. And the bishop said after the missionaries baptized her that he went to visit her, and he was just appalled by her living conditions and thought, we're going to help her. One piece of furniture at a time. We're going to replace this old junky furniture, and then we're going to find a way to get her out of the river bottoms into an apartment up in the city. And so he stood up in sacrament meeting, he said, that following Sunday, and announced to the ward, we have a family in our ward who's in need of a small, simple kitchen table. So if any of you have a kitchen table that you could spare and donate, please come see me, because there's a family that could really use it. Well, after the meeting, the bishop said that he got a knock on his door, and there stood this widow. And she said, Bishop, I heard your announcement about the family that is without a kitchen table. And she said, that broke my heart, to picture a family having to eat without a table. And she then proceeded to ask the bishop to come to her house and pick up her table, 2 sawhorses and 3 strips of wood, 3 slats of wood. And she said, it's not a great table, but it'll at least provide a place where this family can gather for their meals and enjoy a meal together every day. And she said, I feel so blessed. I don't need a table. I'll eat my food in my lap. The bishop took that widow in his arm and gave her a big hug and told her that the table was intended for her. And she just wept and said, I don't need the table. I feel so richly blessed with what I have. I never met that woman. I don't even know her name. But she changed my life. And she helped me look at possessions differently, and helped me see that it doesn't matter what you have. You can always try to get more. But if you look at what you have as an incredible blessing from God, then you're far more likely to be willing to lift those around who may not be as privileged or as well off as you. So I'll be forever grateful to this woman.